every part of creation. So I see that this morning. I see this wonderful creation, this creative process unfolding right here as each participant breathes in that breath and experiences that presence. And so I know that for each person here, and I know that for this gathering this morning, the volunteers, our wonderful Charlene, as she gives the talk this morning, as each of us feel that, bring that in and make it part of us. For we are all one, all together in love, peace, harmony, and with great joy for this coming year. I see that now, and I release it knowing it is so. And so it is.
So it is. So it is. Wonderful.
Thank you, Anne. That was Anne Woodward, our practitioner of service today. Hello, welcome. Welcome, welcome. I know, right? Let's give Anne a little love. Thank you. My name is Charlene Kussner. I am a licensed practitioner with Centers for Spiritual Living, and I'm a ministerial student and intern, so welcome. Welcome everyone here in the sanctuary this morning, and welcome Randy and Danielle. Good morning. So good morning. We're here the day after Christmas. Let's just take a deep breath. Because I know that we love Christmas and we love all the vibrancy leading up to Christmas, and how good it is on the day after Christmas to just like go, you know, we made it through. We kind of can relax into it a little bit, which is nice. So welcome here. Reverend Catherine and her family are wishing us all the best and loving us up. They are on their way to take a little holiday together. So I'm just grateful for all of us here that we can manage this and steer this ship so Reverend Catherine can have a wonderful time away from the office, so to speak. So we honor her and love her right on her way. So welcome to those online. This is Centers for Spiritual Living Temecula Valley. We are a loving, inclusive, welcoming community. And I know we all know that here in our sanctuary. I can look out at each of these beloved lights, and we come here together to gather to remember the truth of our being. And so I'm just so in such great gratitude for this community and for us to be able to come together and love each other and lift each other when we might need a little lift, and to celebrate with one another when we are celebrating all the good times. So thank you for being here. I'm honored to be here today with you all. So I think we're going to start our service off with our congregational song.
We sure are. If you'd all like to stand, let's sing together. This is a call and response song. Most of you know it. This is Holy, Holy Way. So I'm going to sing it, and you sing it on back to me. Oh, let me love in a holy, holy way. Let me love in a holy, holy way. Oh, let me love in a holy, holy way. Let me love in a holy, holy way. Oh, let me know that love is all around. Let me know that love is all around. Oh, let me know that love is all around. Let me know that
morning. No, yeah, I like it. I love that congregational song. I love it. So this is our time of our moment of gratitude. This is a spiritual practice we've incorporated in our Sunday celebration, and I really love it. And I really love it when we can bring forth new ways of thinking and new things to contemplate. And so wanted to take a moment today to contemplate Kwanzaa. Today is the first day of Kwanzaa. And Don and Jackie Taylor, our practitioner, Don Taylor, and his lovely wife brought just a little piece of the Kwanzaa altar from their home so that we could have a representation of Kwanzaa here in our home. I really love this community because I get to learn about new ways of thinking and being. I created an altar in my home for Dia de los Muertos, which is so powerful for me. I learned that here. I'm learning about Kwanzaa in a new way here at this community. And then I bring it into my home, and it allows me to celebrate and honor faith traditions, new ways of thinking, and kind of weave it into my own family, which I just love. And so Kwanzaa was first celebrated in 1966. It begins today, and it culminates in a communal feast called Karamu on December 31st. It celebrates some principles over 7 days, and there are candles on the altar which are lit for each day. And those principles are unity, self-determination, collective work and responsibility, purpose, creativity, and faith. Now, I don't know about you, but I think I could have this up all year long to remember these principles on a daily basis, because who doesn't need more unity and self-determination and collective work and responsibility? And so as we move into our moment of gratitude, where we close our eyes and we just sit for a moment, I'm going to read some words from Howard Thurman. He is an American mystic, Howard Thurman. But I also did want to bring to light that our beloved Desmond Tutu transitioned this morning at 90. So this light, the South African light, this soul who graced us for 90 years, really changed the world. One light changed the world. He brought change to his country, and he brought change to the world through love, which I believe was the center of his center. And so I would ask that you just close your eyes and just take a breath and deepen into yourself. And let's honor Desmond Tutu for his light and thank him. And let's hear these words from the mystic Howard Thurman. Open unto me light for my darkness. Open unto me courage for my fear. Open unto me hope for my despair. Open unto me peace for my turmoil. Open unto me joy for my sorrow. Open unto me strength for my weakness. Open unto me wisdom for my confusion. Open unto me forgiveness for my missteps. Open unto me thine self for myself. Lord, Lord, open unto me. And so, opening our heart with gratitude. For all that gratitude is and lives within us. Open unto me. And so when you're ready, come on back and open your eyes. And let's give our attention to Ann Woodward as she does our spiritual reading for this morning.
I think so. Let's see. Our spiritual reading today is from the 365 Days of Richer Living by Ernest Holmes and Raymond Charles Barker. And it says here, I affirm my own divinity. I accept a divine purpose for my life. Intelligence brought me forth at this time to do the right work in these present days. This is my right generation, and around me are my own people. I do not regret the past, nor do I postpone the future. I see now as the only time, and this day as the only opportunity to release God into the world through my right thinking and living. These present hours are my tools of divinity. My thinking is in accord with the mind of God. My actions are in accord with the divine plan of my life. I radiate love, live in peace, and think God's thoughts. I fulfill my destiny and be what God created me to be. I am spirit, I am truth. My mind is a holy vessel for the transmission of God's ideas. My body glows with God's victorious life. My environment is pregnant with good, and love flows from me through all I know. I have the victorious attitude, and I bring forth my demonstrations in order and in ease. God made me, and I like his creation, and so it is.
So it is.
Thank you. Yeah, a little round of applause. Yeah.
Thank you.
All right. Well, we are blessed and honored with the musical gift this morning from our very own Randy MC. Stars in the sky, you know how I feel. Yep. Thank you, Randy. That was lovely. I wanted to get up and groove, but, I didn't. I can move this.
Yeah.
Hi. All right. So I am talking about stars today. Who knew? Randy knew. I am speaking about twinkly stars in the sky. Sorry, I'm looking for my paperwork here. Because our monthly theme this month is Journey of Becoming. And today's theme was A Light of a New Dawn. Today, celebrating the principle, the first day of Kwanzaa, and the principle of unity. And I love the lights. I love lights. I love all this stuff. I love it. I love all this stuff. I brought this from home. So I love the lights. I would keep them up all year long. I really would. My beloved wife puts up with me that I have the lights up all year long. I would really have a Christmas tree probably up all year long if I really could, because I love the lights. And so kind of the theme of the talk today is remembering our light, remembering that innate light in each of us, even in the backdrop of the darkness. Because I'm going to start with darkness, because I personally think the darkness gets a bad rap. It does. I know we want to be love and light, and we are love and light. I want to say that, right? We are love and light. We really are. And we're darkness too. We're darkness too. We are all of it. All of it. And so I feel bad sometimes about darkness because, darkness, which could be, meaning for us challenge or, struggle, we don't like it. And I totally get it that we don't like it. I don't like it either. And it's necessary to see the light. It's a requirement. And so I wanted to start with a little cute story that I call a sharism. A sharism is one of my best girlfriends, her name is Charlene too, and we both do it. It is totally hilarious. So we call them charisms. And we'll say things periodically that maybe are nonsensical at the moment, but then after like a skip a beat, you go, yeah, it kind of does make sense. And so I was driving with Susie, and it was right after the Thanksgiving holiday, and we were driving through the block, and the lights were starting to come up. People were putting the lights on the house, and I was very excited in the car. I was like, oh, the lights are here, the lights are here, the lights are here. And I turned to Susie and I said, oh, honey, I like twinkly lights in the dark the best. And she kind of looked at me like, well, no kidding, because, that's where we see lights, right? It's not like we see lights we don't see them quite as vibrantly in the day. We see them with the backdrop of night. So I like twinkly dark lights in the dark the best. Because even in my own home, when I have my lights up, in the middle of the day, I see that they're there, but oh goodness, when you turn those lights off, and you're getting ready for bed and those lights are still on, oh, it's magical to see the twinkly lights in the dark. And so we're in this time of light, right? We're coming through the shortest day of the year, the longest period of darkness, which is the solstice. That happened last Tuesday. And then we moved into the Christmas holiday, which is all about the light, right? The Christmas time star that led to the Christ, to the babe, who is, in the Christian theology is the light bringer. And way back, I wanted to point out that way back with the ancient ones, I wouldn't be a really good ministerial student if I didn't bring part of my ministerial classes into the talk, and that's what I'm going to do. So I just recently finished with an ancient philosophies of the West, which is the Egyptian, the Babylonian, the Greek, all the mystery schools from way, way back. And the Egyptian and Babylonian cultures, the ancient ones, looked up at the stars And they believed that the stars, that the night sky was actually like a big black veil. And that there was a great and radiant light of Ishtar behind the veil, and that there were little holes poked into the veil, and that was the stars. But behind that black veil was this immense, never-ending, illuminating light, pushing its way through the veil. And those were the stars that they honored. And at the solstice, right, we honor that darkness, that dark, long, dark night. We light fires, we light candles. This season of darkness has these little pinpricks of light throughout it, through what we do, what we bring, to bring light into the darkness. I really believe that the ancient ones really knew this so powerfully. The winter solstice. Do you know that they really huddled down? They didn't work as long. They stayed around the house, around the hearth. They managed the fire. The fire was super important during these long, dark periods. But they really honored the darkness, that it was okay to be quiet, that it was okay to let the body rest for a period. Because guess what? You know, once the light starts returning, the spring and the summer, we're busy. We're planting, we're harvesting, we're tending to our lives. And it's okay to have a period of darkness where we just keep warm, allow our bodies to rest. And I believe they knew this innately, that this was a time where you could celebrate quiet, plant those seeds for the spring and the summer. Because they knew that the light was returning. They knew it was coming. The longer days were coming. But they did really celebrate the dark. And so that's what I'm starting with, is facing the darkness. One of my things that I say is, don't look away. Yes, there is darkness, right? We have times of trouble. We have challenges in our lives. And if we can lean into it, not look away, but face it, we're empowered for it more on the other side. And there's a reason why we have that hero's journey, the long night of the soul, right? These are those moments, these are those challenges that we work through, and we do move through them, and we have the gift of light, of awareness, of enlightenment on the other side of that dark. And so darkness kind of gets a little bit of a bad rap. So I'm starting with darkness. My talk is actually all about light, but I'm starting with darkness because we need to have that juxtaposition to see it. We do not see the twinkly, radiant light sometimes as easily in the day. That darkness, that challenge, puts it into perspective for us so we can see that light in a greater way. And so I believe that we are lights. I believe we are star stuff. I know there's my friends out here who understand that and agree. We are star stuff, made manifest. And I was looking at the stars the other night and I thought, why do they twinkle? And I thought, I'm gonna look it up because I hadn't really even thought about it before. Why do stars twinkle, and why do some of them really twinkle brightly and some are kind of faded? And so this is why. I Googled it. A light from a star races through our atmosphere. It bounces and bumps through the different layers, bending the light before we see it. Since the hot and cold layers of air keep moving, the bending light changes too, which makes the star appear to twinkle or wobble a little bit. Stars are very, very far away from us. We know that. Some of them are not even physically, materially present anymore, but their light is still making its way. That alone is amazing. Making its way to us, and we see it. And that light gets refracted thousands, hundreds, many, many times, and they twinkle. And it made me think about it because I thought, I'm kind of twinkly too. I really am. And so are all you. We're all twinkly. And sometimes my light's pretty good. And I'm really shining forth. But there are times when my light is dim. And I'm here to say that's okay. I think sometimes we can get caught up in a thought process where we think we have to shine all the time. Well, I'm going to tell you the big secret. We don't. None of us do. Sometimes we're really shining bright because for whatever reason, we're feeling energized and energetic, and sometimes we're a little dimmer. And maybe it's because we, like the stars, have a little bit of that refractive energy about us, right? I've talked before where we're an ethereal body. We have an ethereal body too, right? Not only this physical body, we have this kind of glowing body around us that we pick up on as human beings with each other. And so maybe sometimes my light's just getting refracted a little bit because of the waves in front of me, or the things that I'm dealing with in my life, or the people or the experiences that I'm having. It's making that light wobble just a little bit. And we twinkle. It's part of the energetic that we are engaged with. But have no fear. That flame, that spark is always within us. Whether it's shining, just a roaring fire, or if it's just a little bit dimmer, that is the deep treasure that has been implanted in each of us. The light, the love that God is within us, and it is never extinguished. Never. There's a Jewish saying that you may kill a fire, and everything you know falls to dust. Yet the remarkable treasure in this seemingly hopeless pile is hidden deep within. The burning embers incarnate the perpetual desire to go from spark to flame. That even in that burned out log that seems lifeless, there is that spark. It's in there. Now, we can fan it, right? We can give it energy from oxygen and from heat to fan it, but it's always in there. And that really is the truth of our being. That spark of love, that spark of God is deep within us. It never goes out. And so I'm just asking that we don't judge that darkness. That's what we're doing here, right? We're trying to understand ourselves, I think. That's what I'm doing here. I'm trying to understand myself in a better way, right? I'm trying to navigate this life and understand the ups and downs, the light, the dark, all of it, because all of it is within me, us. It is what keeps us, that's our wholeness. And I think sometimes, we kind of go with a race consciousness thought that we can't be dark. Well, we can. We sometimes we are. We have challenges. And I don't want us to look away from it. I'd like for us to lean into it. This is a dark period. But there's something for me to learn in this. There's something to expand my awareness, to up-level me in some way. It's in there. That little spark is still in that burned out log. Which could be the challenge, could be the dark night of the soul, whatever we want to call it. So it's equally important in understanding ourselves, in knowing ourselves more fully. Know thyself is one of my abiding principles. Know thyself, Charlene. And part of knowing myself is recognizing that sometimes I'm just not as bright and shiny. Heidi Priebe, an author, says this: "It is not our job to hold anyone accountable for the people they used to be. It is our job to travel with them between each version of themselves and to honor what emerges along the way. Sometimes it will be an even more luminescent flame. Sometimes it will be a flicker that temporarily floods the room with a perfect and necessary darkness. Sometimes it will be a luminescent flame, and sometimes it will be a flicker that temporarily floods the room with a perfect and necessary darkness. I really love that because honestly, as Ram Dass says, we're all just walking each other home. We're walking with each other, companioning with each other. I'm not dragging, although I'd like to sometimes, but it's not my job to drag anyone or myself. We walk together as a community. We walk each other home. And sometimes as we're walking together, that person shifts and changes because maybe they're having a dark night of the soul. My job is to walk with them, to companion with them, and maybe be a little flickering light for them to keep their eye on, like a star. If our companions are not as twinkly as we would like or prefer, it's okay. They're in their momentary darkness, which is necessary. It's necessary for their growth. And so as I'm engaging in life and meeting people, and they're maybe not as up and bubbly and flick and twinkly as I would like them to be, I'd prefer them to be, I have to check myself, right? Say, they're in their necessary moment of darkness. They're learning exactly what they need to learn in that moment. I can companion with them, and I can be a twinkly light. I can radiate maybe a little bit brighter because they're in some darkness. And that's why I want our light to be our message. Our light can be our message. Albert Einstein says, those who have the privilege to know have the duty to act, and that is the truth. And that is my charge to all of us. We know better. We show up here. We show up online. We know better. And so it's our duty to act because we know better. Because we are up-leveling, we can uplift. And when we twinkle more brightly, as I twinkle more brightly, give somebody else something to look at. They can gaze at, they can lean into. Just as we lean into those stars and we gaze at those stars, we can do that for each other as we companion with one another. I can see that my companion needs a little light, and I can be that for them. What a great gift. Because in Matthew 5:14, it is said, you are the light of the world. Let your light shine before others. You are the light of the world. Not just Christ Jesus. We are the light of the world. We have that spark, that ember embedded within us, deep within us. That Christ, what I call Christ consciousness, is residing in us. And we are the light. And it is our responsibility to fan the flame. Fan the flame. Because that remarkable treasure is in there, and we can uplift each other. And how do we fan the flame? How do we act? How do we nurture that ember? Well, Dr. Ernest Holmes, founder of Science of Mind and Spirit, says this. The communion of the soul with its source fans the spark of faith into a divine blaze, whose light dark shadows no longer lurk. This is inspiration, this is illumination, this is the perception of wholeness. The communion of the soul with its source. So it's in communion, remembering that divine connection, that we can fan the flame. When my twinkly light, even though I'm not judging my twinkly light, but let's say it's not as bright and it's not as sparkly as I'd like it to be, because I'm facing whatever I'm facing, that's when I lean into communion with Spirit. That's when we double down. Meditation, contemplation, coming here to know one another in a greater way. Prayer. Anything that we can do to remember the spark and fan it. Right? It could be music, where we feel that connection and we, oh, there it is. I remember, there it is. And that's what we're doing, we're fanning that flame. There's this from Rabbi Jonathan Sachs, and he says, when I use the flame of my faith to light a candle in someone else's life, my faith is not diminished. It grows because there is now more light in the world. When it comes to spiritual goods as opposed to material goods, the more I share, the more I have. If I share my knowledge or faith or love with others, I don't have less. I may even have more. So share your faith, your light with others. Take the flame of your faith and help set other souls on fire. We can be the light. When we fan our flame, when we share more of ourselves, more of our faith, more of our light, we're a twinkling light for others. And they may say, I want what she's having. I like that. Now, that's not to say that we don't have periods of darkness. That's when we lean in and we can inspire and help others by being the light. Because remember, we are walking with each other. We're companioning with one another. And as I fan my flame, I help someone else remember the flame, that still small flame within them, and help fan that flame too. So when we are the light, we can be the light for others. They can be inspired and know that they can shine too. They can have a brighter flame. And so what are we called to do? Right? So going back to that quote from the super intelligent Albert Einstein, those who have the privilege to know have the duty to act. We have a duty to act. Being under the Bodhi tree all day in meditation is lovely, but it's acting. It's going out into the world. It's being with each other, being of service to one another, that sacred seva service. That's how we fan that flame. And so there's ways we can do it all around us. I was just watching the news just yesterday. Do you realize that there are women in Afghanistan right now who are creating underground schools and defying the Taliban? They are ready to receive books, support, because they are not giving up. They are not going back to the old ways of being. They're making themselves known even at very imminent danger. They are leaning into the darkness. They are not looking away. They are bringing their light forward into that situation. They're not going back. There are ways to serve in this valley. There's ways to serve right here at CSL TV. There are so many ways to be in sacred service with one another. And that really is how we fan that flame. It keeps that ember alive within us. For we are the light bearers, we are the peace bearers, we are the power bearers. We are the bringers of light. And it is not diminished as I share it, it grows. I love synchronicities. I don't believe in coincidences. I really don't. And so this morning, our practitioner, Ann Woodward, shared a medicine woman's prayer. That was how we began our service today. And I am closing with a medicine woman's prayer. And we did not know that. This sits on my altar. And as bringers of light, I'd like you to take it in. I will not rescue you, for you are not powerless. I will not fix you, for you are not broken. I will not heal you, for I see you in your wholeness. I will walk with you through the darkness as you remember your light. There's nothing to fix. There's nothing to heal. We are whole, perfect, and complete just as we are, light and dark. All of it is perfect. It's for our good. It's for our growth. And so I hope that we can just lean into that, not look away. Lean into the challenge, lean into the light, fan the flame, and be the light bearers that we are for ourselves and for others. I love you all. And so it is.
Thank you so much for that message. It's wonderful.
Very good. We like to hear your voice.
There is a candle in every soul, some brightly burning, some dark and cold. There is a spirit that brings a fire, ignites a candle, and makes a home. So carry your candle, run to the darkness, seek out the hopeless, confused and torn. Hold out your candle for all to see it. Take your candle, go light your world. Take your candle, go light your world. Frustrated brother, see how he's trying to light his own candle some other way. See now your sister, she's been robbed and lied to, still holds a candle without a flame. So raise our candles and light up the sky. Pray to our spirit for one another. Make us a beacon in darkest time. So carry your candle, run to the darkness, seek out the helpless, deceived and poor. Hold out your candle for all to see it. Take your candle, go light your world. Carry your candle, run to the darkness, seek out the hopeless, confused and torn. Hold out your candle for all to see it. Take your candle, go light your world. Take your candle and go light your world.
Oh my gosh, thank you. That was beautiful. Woo. Perfectly aligned with my talk, I think, too. So, there's that. I love it when that happens. I love it, love it, love it. This is the time of our service where we move into sacred giving. Our offerings, our tithes. I just want to say that this teaching, this center, and tithing has changed my life. I was watching Christmas Story, with Ralphie, and he was, trying to get his beloved BB gun the entire story right, and at the end he's like, I know there's scoffers out there, but I'm going to the big man. I'm going to the head honcho. I'm going to Santa with my request, right? And it made me think about, right, that in my own life, when I talk to people about tithing, there's sometimes this little scoffing, like they don't quite believe that it works. And it does. It's kind of like Santa. It's that principle of giving and receiving. And I promise you, I am here testifying, it has worked in my life. Tithing, sacred giving, sacred service has changed my life. It has brought me more good than I can imagine, than I can even believe. And I'm so grateful for this practice of giving and receiving and accepting. And so I just wanted to say thank you to this community for your trust and knowing of sacred giving. For those online, the work, the tithes, the offerings can be done online, can be done through our website. There's probably some information in the chat. But these are all ways to give to this community so we can continue the good, continue the service into this valley and into this community. So we are grateful. So I'd ask our ushers to come up, please. And if you can take your tithes, your offerings, if you're at home, take what in mind you are thinking of giving and place those on your heart. And let's do our affirmation of giving together, okay? Divine love through me blesses and multiplies all that I am, all that I give, and all that I receive. I am prosperous now.
God is my source. God is my power. God gives me everything I need.
grateful. Thank you. All right, we have some announcements this morning, and before I start with announcements, I heard a little elf whispered into my ear that somebody had a birthday yesterday. That would be our own very own Randy MC had a birthday yesterday. So I would really love it if we could sing happy birthday to him. Now he has to work a little bit for his supper. He's got to actually noodle the birthday song if he can, but I'd love to sing happy birthday to you.
There we go. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Randy. Happy birthday to you.
Thank you, I appreciate it.
Thank you. Happy birthday. Happy birthday.
All right. Okay, our announcements for this Sunday will be online. They're on our website. They're in the chat online. Our Science of Mind book study has completed for the year, but it's coming back on January 12th. And we'll have more information as we move into the new year. Our very own practitioner, Julie Nims, is leading that group, and you can see her or Ann Woodward both leading our Science of Mind book study. Great way to come together and connect over interesting books and readings, and then have a chat about it. It's very good. Our men's ministry is still meeting on Wednesdays, both online and in person, at Journey's Restaurant, and you can contact Reverend Michael Summers for more information on that. They are beginning a practice in the evenings starting this year, so more information to come. They're going to have an offering online via Zoom as well. Our Sisters in Spirit group continues to meet on the third Thursday of the month at 9 a.m. in person at Journey's Restaurant, and they'll continue that practice into 2022. We have our CSL TV Community Connection that happens on Wednesday nights at 7 o'clock with Reverend Catherine. It's online. It's a great way to get individualized time with Reverend Catherine, and she answers any questions. Sometimes we talk about what we've discussed here on Sundays, but it's a great way to come together as a community online. We had a really successful holiday giving program this year, and we just want to say thank you so much for everybody who leaned in and participated in that. Big, big thank yous. We were so generous that we not only supported the two families in having gifts for Christmas, but at least one more family was supported. So thank you. Many, many lives and children's lives shifted in love from this community. Thank you so much. All right, here it comes. Listen up close. The World Peace Meditation. The World Peace Meditation. The whole world mobilizes and organizes on New Year's Eve, so on December 31st in the morning, because it's based on the noon Greenwich time, and every other time zone participates based off of that. So our time is 4 a.m. 4 a.m. We meet here in the sanctuary, we'll have the heat on, it'll be nice and warm, and we have a celebration together to know and remember world peace. It is possible. And so what we do here feeds into that collective world knowing that peace is at hand. It is here. So we gather here, and our very own Ann Woodward leads us in the peace meditation. 4 a.m. It's wonderful, and then I go out to breakfast. So it's a really good spiritual practice, so if you can join us. Next Sunday, on the 2nd of January, we're going to be doing a burning bowl ceremony with Reverend Catherine. It is another beautiful practice to create or release that which we want more or to experience less of. Changes in our lives as we go into 2022. The burning bowl practice is a lovely celebration. And then finally, we're going to have a town hall meeting here at the center on Sunday, January 9th after service, and we'll have it on Zoom as well. And so we're hoping that you can stay, because we really want to hear from you, from our community, online and here present in person, about what we're going to shift into in 2022. Because COVID really has changed things for lots of people. And we want to know, what is it that we want to experience more of as a community? This is an opportunity to fan that flame and create a raging, burning fire. To create a real radiant light here in this valley, here, starting here at CSL TV. What is it we want to create more of and experience more of? So we'll come together as a community and we'll have a chat with Reverend Catherine. We'll have a talk. And we'll figure out together what our community is going to look like, what it's going to be more of in 2022. Okay? So I hope you can stay. That's on Sunday, January 9th. All right, those are our announcements and birthday wishes for this morning. So at this time, I'd like to acknowledge our practitioners. They are in blue stoles. We are licensed with CSL, Centers for Spiritual Living. And what we love to do is pray. We love it. And so our practitioners are here. After service, they're out in the breezeway. We have a prayer box in the back. If there's anything that you want to shift in your life, or anything you want to experience more of, I like those prayers too. I want to experience more of this great abundance that I'm witnessing right now. I want more of it. Yay! Let's celebrate together. Let's know that. That's what we do. And so it's our great honor and privilege to be able to pray with you, pray for you. We hold the prayers in high watch all week. And so let us lean in together to know the truth of our being, to experience more of what we want in our life experience. So if you would take this moment, let's come together and pray together. Let's pray together. And so we come together right here, right now, here in person in the sanctuary and those online, for there is no time or space. There is only connection. There is only unity as we remember and recognize unity on this first day of Kwanzaa. We remember God, love, life, that power, that presence, that is that spark within everything. It is life and it is for us. It reveals more of itself in personality, in experience. And it is love at the center of all expression. And so I know this love to be my center. It is the manifestation that I am. And as I know this for myself, I know this for each beloved here, each beloved everywhere. Love as light. Love as beingness. And so how good it is to remember this love at the center of all expression, as we witness it in one another, as we remember it in ourselves, as we fan that flame to create that brighter and brighter spark. As we move through our experience, we are the twinkly lights made manifest. And so I know that as we move together, there may be moments of darkness, and I know that we don't look away. That we know that light, that ember that resides within each of us deep, that hidden treasure. And as we walk together, as we support one another, as we companion each other, we know and recognize that there is nothing to heal, for we are not broken. We are whole, perfect, and complete. And so I know that if there is anyone who is in that moment of darkness, if they are in that dark night of the soul, I know that there are radiant, twinkly lights ready, able to companion them, to reach out a hand and say, yes, I am here with. I am here, I am present. And so I know that in this divine givingness of being the light for others to lean into, it is good, it is love, it is God made manifest. And so I just bless with great gratitude this knowing, this remembering of great light, of leaning into the darkness and saying yes, how good it is. And so with great gratitude in my heart for all of this and more, I say thank you. I release these words into the power and action of the law, knowing it is done. And so it is. Amen.
There was a time in my life I thought I had to do it all for myself. I didn't know the grace of God was sufficient. I didn't know the love of God was at hand. But now I can say, if you are discouraged, struggling just to make it through another day, you've got to let it go. And this is what you've got to say. I release and I let go. I let the Spirit run my life, and my heart is open wide. Yes, I'm only here for God. No more struggle, no more strife. With my faith I see the light. I am free in the Spirit. Yes, I'm only here for God. Said I release and I let go. I let the Spirit run my life, and my heart is open wide. Yes, I'm only here for God. No more struggle, no more strife. With my faith I see the light. I am free in the Spirit. Yes, I'm only here for God. Let's hear you now. I release and I let go. I let the Spirit run my life, and my heart is open wide. Yes, I'm only here for God. No more struggle, no more strife. With my faith I see the light. I am free in the Spirit. Yes, I'm only here for God.
Oh, yes. Bright and twinkly lights go forth this week. Shine, shine, shine. Fan those flames and be well.